So, ons is nog steeds besig met 'n meetkundige reeks, maar ons gaan kyk na 'n som van 'n meetkundige reeks wat oneindig aangaan. Now, we don't actually have a good understanding of what infinity is. So that means that we don't think that this can happen. Okay, as ek vir jou sê, jy moet oneindig baie terme bymekaar tel. So I'm starting a sequence and I'm saying 10 plus 5 plus 2.5 plus, and you have to carry on adding that forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Then you'll tell me, no ma'am, there's no way that that can happen. I gave my boyfriend a bracelet. It says love you forever, infinity. There's no end to it. There's no way to determine it. It cannot happen. Okay? Maar wat gebeur is, in sekere gevalle kan ons wiskundig uitwerk wat die som tot oneindig sal wees. And the easiest way to demonstrate that for you guys is by using a simple square. Isn't that lovely? Okay. En ek gaan nou vir julle wys hoe. So, as ek 'n reeks begin en ek sê vir jou, my eerste term is 'n half, my tweede term is 'n kwart, then it's going to be 1/8. Okay, and then we're going to continue with that forever. Okay, for that sequence, do you guys agree that I'm multiplying with a half every time? You can check me on that. Okay, goed. Nou sê ek vir julle, ons gaan hierdie blokkie inkleur. We're going to color in this square. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color in half of it. So I'm going to divide it in two. And I'm going to color it in. Mooi. We are practicing for your art lessons on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, good. So I've done that. Okay, now gaan ek die volgende ene bytel. I'm going to add a quarter to that as well. Do you guys agree that that is a quarter of my square? Color it in. You guys don't have to do this with me. You can just, it's like a color by numbers. It's very soothing. Okay. Check. Now I'm gonna color in 1/8 of the square. Hoe groot is 'n agste? Do you guys agree it will be half of a quarter? Half of a quarter. There we go. Wat is die volgende ene wat ek gaan bytel? 1/16. So it's going to be half of this white part that's left. Okay? Hy's bygetel. Then I'm going to add 1/32. Wat helfte sal wees van hierdie blokkie, né? Everyone still following?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then I'm going to add 1/64, which is half of the part that's remaining. Yo. Okay. Next thing I'm going to add is 1/124. Yeah, 128. Sorry. Which is half of that. Nee? Ons gaan nie aanhou tot infinity toe nie. I'm going to show you now. Oei. Plus 1/256. Okay. And we continue doing that until how much of this square have we actually colored in? Do you guys agree that I've colored in the whole square? Oi. Maak hom 'n fyn punt. Hy's klaar 'n fyn punt. Okay, you guys get the idea. But at some point, if I add that sequence together, the next term that I'm going to add is going to be so small that I can just say, you know what, at this point, wait, no, it was such a perfect piece of art. At this point, I've colored one whole square. So we can actually calculate the sum to infinity. Want op 'n stadium het jy so naby gekom aan die totale som en dit wat jy elke keer bytel is so klein breek dat dit nie meer 'n effek het op wat jy reeds bymekaar getel het nie. But that is only in certain cases, and that certain case you have to know is when r is between -1 and 1. In other words, each consecutive term becomes smaller because you are multiplying with a fraction. Nee? Al ons breuke lê mos tussen -1 en 1. Wel, al ons breuke wat kleiner is as 1. So each time you multiply with a fraction between -1 and 1, the next term will be a smaller number. So because you keep on adding smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller numbers, at some point the next one that you add doesn't even affect what you already have. Okay? Because it is so minute. So then you can just say, we've colored the whole square. Goed. En dis waar hierdie vergelyking inkom. And the good news is you don't need to be able to prove that one. Yay! Guys are boring. Okay, so kom ek wys vir julle een voorbeeld. And that one goes on ad infinitum. And I ask you to calculate the sum to infinity of this thing. Okay. When I have you guys again on Wednesday for actual class, now on Thursday for actual class, I'll tell you what converging means, but we need to determine first if we can actually calculate the sum to infinity for this sequence. So ons moet eers gaan uitwerk wat is R. What will R be for this? 8 gedeeld deur 16, so dis 'n half. Nee? Then you ask yourself, does a half lie between -1 and 1? Doen hy? On a number line, you have 0 here, you have -1 there, you have 1 there, en hier lê 'n half. So I doen, né? So omdat hy lê tussen -1 en 1, kan ek nou gaan en net hierdie gaan instel. And it's as simple as doing this. Yeah, but my 9 and my A looks the same. It is what it is. So if we add all of the terms in that sequence together to infinity, we will get to 32.